Hello guys and welcome to GRL GP3 around Singapore tonight. Once again, with it being so close to Christmas time, we have a small turnout from the guys. Obviously people with family, understandable. We have 6 drivers tonight for GP3, looking to score a few points here at Singapore. I'm joined by Phil. How are you today, buddy?
There we go, got the audio included. I'm alright. Since the Christmas is coming around the corner, we're very, very interested.
If anyone can have an early Christmas present, if you're on board with George, I can't remember how to do this now.
George Bale.
There we go. I got the right button in the end.
Yeah.
But with George Bale now as he comes through the final sector.
A very sophisticated third sector that is, because of how close the walls are.
What do you think is
so much
the pole lap for round here?
I think for GP3, say like a 139, 138.
Here comes George Bale to the line. What's he going? He's a 139.8. I'm on the money there. A whole range of different tyres at the minute.
Yeah. And it's gone in the pits.
A very tough track. You will lose your front wing very quickly if you get it wrong.
Well, I won't say quickly, I'll say instantly, because I've turned 1, 2 and 3 and 4.
Oh, crosses the line. What's he going to set? So 144.3 on the softs.
Owen is currently on the hyper softs. $39.7.
Pretty good lap from him.
Could either be a good strong lap on the hypers, or it might be a good anchor lap. Who knows?
With obviously Owen Nasher being away, be a great opportunity for both McLarens to score high points here and start pulling away from the Williams guys. Well,
yeah, especially on the constructors and also the drivers' championship as well.
Especially being so close to the end of the season. I think there's what, 6 races left. 142.2
yeah.
for Ned.
6 races left for GP3. With 5 for 1.1. Oh, just gone into the pits.
Owen's still flying on the way.
Oh, it's now going into the pits now. Maybe sticking with Necklaw. Now coming up onto the hairpin.
It's into the wall. Really struggling to get grips with this track as well, I think.
So that everyone across the whole division will be struggling around this track, especially on for tyre wear, tyre carcass temperature. and surviving it, really. Especially trying to do 31 laps. Mixed conditions. As Elliot has retired, I think he's crashed somewhere. He was on the second sector. It does mean though, I think, because Elliot hasn't posted a time, he can start at any tyre, if I am right.
Yeah, I think so. Going to be some differing strategies in the race. What do you reckon is the best strategy for around this track for?
One stop. No doubt about it.
Simple as you like.
It's a one stop. The hypersofts only last like 3 laps. Or if you're lucky. Because of the tyre carcass, temperature shoots up after, I think, lap 2. The grip levels just fall.
PC goes fastest on the ultra softs. 1:39.6. What a cracking lap that is from him.
Only half a tenth faster though.
George Bell's left.
On the case.
Started. Try and get him back.
I'm on it. Cal's on his second out lap.
As we are on board with Silvano again as he's come out of the pits on a fresh set of boots.
Reserve ultra softs. There we go, George is back. He's super close on the exit of turn 5, near wall. Trying to utilise as much track as possible. That's what Kel's trying to do.
I think every single of these corners around here can cause you a massive problem if you get it wrong. Got to be on the ball everywhere.
Yeah. Kel's going on to the grandstand section. Very neat. I think he got a little bit of understeer. Doesn't seem to phase him. 140.2. I think Cal will be quite happy with that lap.
We've got a bit of room for improvement as Steve gets past George Bell there.
George Bell is now on the hypersofts. I like to call them the quali tyres.
But it's left in this session.
Owen is
See if anyone can
going out.
improve. A bit close to do so.
Cal's letting George through.
I presume he's backed off then if he's let George barrel back through.
Yeah. Oh, Owen's now on a set of ultra softs now. He's just switched to the ultras. And now Owen is on his out lap. Meanwhile, George Bowman's going to be starting his flying lap on the hyper softs as he goes through turn 1, 2 and 3 perfectly. As George utilises the exit curb of turn 4. Here's Owen. Lets George through, but he's got front wing damage. That does mean if Owen's thinking of doing a qualifying lap, he will be losing a couple of tenths in the corners.
Oh, there's a little bit of lag then, but George hit the curve and spun a little bit. Up to the line comes George, can he improve on P3? Across he goes. There he can.
40.2. Actually lost time. Meanwhile, Cal is now on his out lap again on the hypers. Whilst Owen is now starting his flying lap with a slightly damaged front wing. So Owen now onto the second sector. Makes it perfectly though. Now onto the old Singapore sling section. Oh, the understeer on the Anderson Bridge hairpin has just caught Owen off guard. But Owen is still soldiering on.
Let's see if George can improve on his time. Enough time for one more lap if he gets round. And he will. Across the line he goes.
139.6.
And Owen improve on that. Across he goes.
141.3.
He can't. Fell on a flying lap, was on that. I think they're going to fly into.
Does mean that Owen will be starting on the hyper softs. Also, it's the same with George as well. As we see Cal,
Risky call.
big risk.
Mid-claw will be starting on the softs. It will be a lot slower at the start of this race, but will be a hell of a lot quicker at the end.
And they're more durable. He's thinking more long term as well. Well, Calvano. Very, very neat. Going up to end his flying lap.
On the hypers as well. Across the grays, he's fastest,
139.4.
139. Yep, 139.4 on the Red Bull. Goes fastest. George still going round. And still pushing. That's right off there. That's him done then.
Everyone's run out of fuel. That doesn't mean we will be having 3 hypersoft runners. 3 hypersoft runners, an ultra soft runner, and a soft runner. Question is, what Elliot tyre? What is Elliot's tyres going to be at the start of the race?
Let's take a screenshot of the results, please.
Yep. From first to fourth, it's only a quarter of a second separate.
DC on the Ultras, they'll be loving this.
I think he'll be counting his lucky stars. He does have a hypersoft runner in front of him and 2 of them behind him. Right, so we'll have a look and see what Elliot's going to start on, and he's started on the ultra softs. So 2 ultra runners, 3 hypers, and 1 soft runner.
That'll be very nice to see what people are going to be doing around here now.
Yeah. I think that also does mean that the hypersoft runners will be doing a guaranteed 2 stop.
Oh, so who do you reckon will win this race?
I think DC's got it in the bag. I think he's got his strategy on point. If he takes them ultras for like 10 or so laps, I think he might be okay for the wet period, or for the crossover point. Well, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. Nedclaw might be looking for a sneak win as well.
Yeah.
Pushing himself forward from the back of the pack with everyone having to pit quite early on.
Hmm.
Only a couple more minutes now before the start of this race. Elliott is starting on ultra softs. So Carvano on pole is on the hyper softs. DC in second is on the ultras. George Bale and Owen on the second row are both on hypers. Nedclaw in fifth on the softs. Elliott at the back of the pack. Apologies, he's on ultras. The question is, how many of these will be able to finish the race?
Well, we do not know. Alright, the grid is now ready.
We're on the grid. Formation lap as they pull away.
I think this is the first time Calvado's started on pole in his career.
Yeah, it's a good achievement for him.
Yeah. It does look like that anything is possible at the moment. Lots of people with different tyre strategies.
Nedclaw got DSQ'd.
Oh.
on the grid.
So the grid's formed up. We're going to be starting 31. First lap of 31 for GP3. Oh, and DC and Cal's got a drive-through penalty. DC and Cal have a drive-through.
Very poor from
Very
the two
alarming.
of them to jump start. And that's brought Ned into it as Owens dropped right back off the grid and he's going side by side with Elliott at the minute.
As Elliott goes super wide on the exit of turn 5. Meanwhile, George Bale is actually still keeping behind DC. It won't be long though.
Let's see if
Oh, as Elliott lost the back end on the Amstel Bridge.
Very well to keep that off the wall then.
Yeah. And while the top 3 is still within a second, separated between the two. As DC is going to be getting his drive-through penalty over and done with. Which is a huge setback from DC now.
Yeah, he's got a big task on his hands now. Well, yes, most of the other guys will have to stop again. One more time more than he has, but one mistake now is going to cost him. As Owen is already on the back of Ned, that just proves how slow the softs are compared to the hypers.
Oh, and Elliott's lost it. On turn 5.
As George is attacking Calvano in a minute now. Whoa, George is at the wall!
Oh, hits the Anderson Bridge.
Oh,
So
Owens
goes
on the
Owen.
same thing. Oh, not a good start there, but both of them are still in this race. Very lucky though, so that's pulled DC back. Presume these guys will go straight onto the softs now. But Ned's Claw now is net P1.
Nicholas got some breathing space.
As steady as you go.
Steady wins the race. I think that's what Ned's mindset is at the moment. Cal has now gone
at all
into the pits to get his drive-through done.
And Ned is now leading this race from the back row of the grid. He's going to be miles in front as well. Elliott's in as well. DC's going to be a McLaren 1-2. DC's jumped all the way up. Is he going to beat Calvano out? Yes, it's going to be tight.
Yes, he has.
Cole's going to... Yep, Cole's got no fight from it, so it's a McLaren 1-2. Not what George wanted to see. Owen's not gone on the Ultras, he's gone on to the... Wait, no, sorry, he's on the Ultras.
He's gone on the Ultras.
Oh, George is completely off the track there. But this pit exit is very, very tricky.
Very choppy.
It's also off. Cal's on the back of DC.
think Owen's waiting for the wet period, the crossover point. Will that possibly be the reason why he's gone onto the ultra soft tyre?
I think Owen's going to be trying to push and then go onto the soft, and his next
Elliot
stop.
again. On the Anderson Bridge set hairpin.
Really struggling. I don't think he's got the right setup for this. Gavano's in to get all them hypersofts off. That's freed the two McLarens.
He's got to stop go.
Oh. What could go wrong has gone wrong. So we're going to Spotter. Which Bailey's dropping off the back of Owen there.
Cal is on the soft tyre.
We're looking to run that as far as he can.
Oh, Cal with a little bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 3.
So did you change your mind? Do you think it's going to win this race now after watching the first couple of laps?
I think I'll still say DC. I think
20 seconds, and Ned's got the 20-second margin. He's going on to the faster tyre. You still reckon DC's going to pick him?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Like at Monaco though, Ned is very good at keeping it off the wall, even if he's going slower. He's a very good job of keeping it off the wall.
Yeah. Oh, he gets the fastest lap.
So it's the fastest lap now. He's taking chunks out of DC's time now. Pushing after making his mistake. A late championship charge for Owen.
Oh, goes wide on turn 4.
Elliot's back into the pits.
Doesn't look like that DC's gaining on Ned a little bit.
I think he's just biding his time, not off the wall. Whereas Owen is pushing and pushing to try and close the gap. As obviously both drivers will have to pit. The quicker Owen can catch DC, the more of a challenge you can post after the pit stops.
Yeah.
You can only think they will be going on to a soft compound tyre after. Apologies for the boringness of this stream. There was not many, but obviously with 6 guys and such a huge track, not many chance for.
Not many battles, as I thought.
Yeah, as
Mind you, Singapore. I think that's the
Elliot loses his front wing again.
issue.
And there's some
That's the main
bridge.
issue with Singapore. Singapore's quite tricky to try and reduce the gap, as long as you try and push the car as hard as possible. But other than that, you
With a very
can't
good. Elliot needs
reduce
to
the
just
gap.
keep going, keep fighting, and learning, having to put up with his setup, even if he's a lot slower around there. Because 6th is very good points for him.
Yep.
But I've got a feeling he might just retire in the pits here and give up. George Bale's also closing the gap on Owen as well. Owen's close to DC to 6.5 seconds, and George is under 5 seconds now. Both drivers pushing.
And the tyre carcass temperature's starting to kick in. Tyre carcass difference.
We might have a 3-way battle soon.
There's a yellow flag on this first sector. It is Elliot letting Owen through, and he's going to be letting George through as well.
Four seconds now separate Owen and DC, and Elliot hits the wall again. God knows what he's done to his setup. George is really closing that gap on Owen now. He's going to catch Owen before Owen catches DC.
Oh, Owen gets super close to that wall. Whereas George is actually nowhere near that wall and got the good better traction.
Luckily for us guys, we will have a battle on our hands soon with George Bale and Owen. Elliot gets another time penalty.
Just have a 5-second stop go. Now George Bale's got a time penalty.
It's pushing. DC is dropping massively off Nedclaw as well. As DC, if you look behind DC, you can see both Owen and George. Obviously, this track is not as difficult to overtake on like Monaco is, but it's also not as good as Baku for overtaking either.
Yeah. Oh, as George goes in too hot on the grandstand section. I think you can see that George is actually more confident than Owen.
Yeah, he's on a lot of pressure. I got fresher tyres into, and his tyres aren't disintegrating as much as what Owen's will be. I think George will have to pit again to go on to the Ultras, but a long way to go yet. As he gets within the second mark of Owen.
DC is proper struggling now.
He's been on the Ultras since lap 1. Oh, George goes in a very hot run on the Singapore sling.
Oh, he got understeer on there. Anderson Bridge
Sit on
hairpin.
board with George.
Oh, he's going to be going for a move.
Oh, George's out.
And George is gone. He went to try and
That
go
was
for a
very
move on
unlucky.
Owen on the inside.
Very rare. He hardly touched the wall there, and his wheels just come off. That is, oh, Owen's at the wall as well.
Owen's got damage as well.
You'd like to get him in for an interview. I mean, it's not the best of things to see. It's very unfortunate from him.
Quite confused what
Elliot's gone as well.
George was thinking.
This is Elliot's lost it just a couple of corners before the Anderson Bridge has actually lost it. 2 cars out in the space of a minute. As DC goes onto the softs, he's going to the end of the race now.
Yep, got George in.
Oh, George. We'd like to tick the box, buddy. Or do you want to get your rant out of the way first before you tick the box?
Yeah, go on then. I'm ready.
Yeah, it was obviously watching you close down on Owen. Seeing you were pushing and you're pushing, you finally got to that chance of making the move. I don't even think you brushed the wall. You very lightly touched the wall and the wheel just poofs off like magic. Very unfortunate to see, as you were obviously pushing for second place, obviously, because with DC just in front struggling. What are your thoughts and how are you going to be looking to push on for the next couple of races?
Well, also the track felt very cold, so the tyres weren't warming up. I don't think I was just sliding everywhere around the track. But tried making the move against Owen, obviously, and it was my fault. Also, I did make contact. It was my fault there. But it was very very cold race it was tonight. But I also hope for the next race I'll be able to push for the podiums for Williams.
Yeah, with obviously your teammate not being here tonight, DC I think is just looking to pull away from the gap, and with Ned surprisingly leading this race, just going to do a hell of a lot of good for McLaren's points there. You're going to have to start performing.
Yeah, it's just
to pull away again.
Yeah, it's just been an unfortunate few last races for me and Nasha. Obviously, just the car hasn't been as stable and as successful as what used to be. Obviously, since Monaco, I feel like the car has just not performed as well. Obviously, just the setup and hasn't gone our way really.
Yeah, it's very unlucky. Say you are free to leave if you want, George, but very unfortunate seeing you crash as well on the stream.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Very unfortunate there from George there.
I can tell how disappointed he was with obviously how
He was quite.
much he caught Owen. He pushed.
He was quite shocked. He sounded very shaky. Yes, it was.
Shocked. I don't think that is English, but
No, it isn't. I just made it up. it's now.
And now everyone is spread out once again.
And we were so looking forward for that battle for second.
I think the battle was done. It made the move, it got straight past Owen. It was just his car didn't want to stop quick enough and ran him wide into the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all used to seeing a Williams being out of the race in real life, but the Williams are having a tough time at the moment of it. 31 seconds now separates the lead. And Owen in second. Oh, I apologise. But Ned is still finding grip on them tyres. He's still pushing and he's still pushing. Gotta be in the back now for Ned. Surely.
Yeah.
He's gonna come out and still be.
Oh, it's the
15
wet
seconds
period.
in front.
It's starting to rain.
This might be why Owen went onto ultras.
Waiting for
I think it was supposed to be work.
the crossover point.
Everybody knows this track is very, very deadly in the wet.
Definitely.
Nice to drive in the day though, but not in the wet or at night.
Yeah.
It'd take a lot as well for the track to heat up with how temperature soars around here. But you can tell how much Owen is struggling. DC's took 2 seconds out of him. You're on board with your race leader, giving him a bit of stream time.
It's like a Sunday drive.
It's actually a Saturday drive, but obviously he's kept it out the wall and he's just kept it in front.
Nice and composed.
Yeah, nobody's able to challenge him at the minute. I mean, I don't want to have just jinxed him, but of course I think his first win in GRL. I don't think Ned Claw has actually.
I'll say that having a 33.1 second gap to second, it does look like it's going to be possible for him to get his first win.
Oh.
Oh, and it looks like Owen's pulling the trigger and going into the pits.
Does he not think the track's going to get wet enough? And then again, he is battling for second at the minute. He's not battling for anywhere else. He's going onto the soft compound.
He's also getting a front wing change.
So that's DC back into second. All the hard work that he has done to catch up to DC has just been lost.
Cal's now struggling a little bit now as Cal goes into the pits.
So 22 seconds now separates second and third.
I think Owen's made a mistake. His DRS is now disabled. I think Owen's made a mistake.
He's just brushed the wall as well.
Yeah, Owen's made a mistake. Whereas Cal's made a right decision. Cowell's now gone onto the intermediates.
And Ned jumps straight into the pits to go onto Inters. He'll be in and out way before DC gets anywhere near the pit. Ned there taking it very steady into the pit, didn't want to get a 5-second stop go for nothing there.
Yeah.
He's got the advantage.
Oh, no, it's gone. It's in the pillar of the Anderson Bridge.
Second time is it that? Ned Clark comes out of the pits before, as DC comes through the final sector. He's struggling in his tyres now. Oh, nearly goes all the way around. DC's going to have to jump into the pits now. Oh, very risky there. Gonna get in. He's in though. Well, the points here that McLaren are going to be getting is quite frankly disgusting. They're going to be walking in it.
It's kind of cool that Owens made a mistake because he was struggling onto them soft tyres and get quicker and quicker. And then by the time DRS was disabled, I think the realisation did set in.
Oh, Ned Claude does have a race win. It will be his second win. If he can Right. Out of 6 cars, we still have 3 remaining.
16 laps to go.
And in these wet conditions, Ned Clark leading his teammate DC. He's leading Calvano. All on the intermediate tyres now. Gonna make cornering a hell of a lot trickier now. We're at the halfway point of this race.
Much more tricky now. Track's now getting wetter and wetter. Not much to watch now, and I don't think there will be a lot to watch until the end of the race now because how far the guys are apart, and they will not need to pit again. I shouldn't think. I hope not.
Well, Ned has got that pit stop advantage if he does have an incident. We will see what this weather brings.
Yep.
We lost 3 in the dry, we will lose any more in the wet.
Anything can still happen.
Yep, anything can. There's another potential dive bomb claim. Did you want to invite Owen and talk about his incident?
Yep.
Try and keep the stream a bit different.
A bit alertive. Well, not alertive. There we go.
Gonna interview him for.
Okay. Make sure to tick the box there, Owen. Well, it did look like you had your game plan locked and loaded because you was on the ultras.
Yep.
And then you noticed that it was going to be starting to rain. We checked up because we saw the droplets at the front part of your car.
Yep.
You went into the pits, but then all of a sudden you pitted onto the set of softs.
The reason why I went on to softs is because I didn't think the rain was going to go that quick onto the track. And I thought it'd be at least 2 more laps until we got told to go on inters. But once I got out of the pits, it just went straight to inters, and I'm like, I didn't even get any notification of anyone, except from the stewards from the game just says, just go on inters and drive it out. But by the time that happened, I've lost it. So, but
It did also look like that by the time the DRS was disabled, I think the realisation did kind of settle in.
yep, it did, because I was a bit slowly in the first corner. I knew I had to brake early and try and turn as I was braking, but
Ooh,
just
the first to jump onto full wets.
to be honest, I think it's actually time to go on full wets.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's one of them placebo effects from last season. You think it's heavy rain, but it's not.
Well, we went a little bit off track though.
But, it was unfortunate for Owen to crash out on the Anderson Bridge section. I think that was obviously because of the misjudging of the crossover point. But do you think that could be a bit more a heads up now for the next few races? If it's going to be a dry to wet race?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be the same thing for Russia. If I want to get a chance to fight for the title now, I need to get points in every single race till Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
If I want to have a contend, trying to fight for it, but at the moment it's between Nasher and DC, and I think DC may have the advantage over Nasher and take the title off him.
Yeah. But anyways, very unfortunate for you to crash out at the Marina Bay circuit, and we're hoping for next week at Sochi. Could be a better result for you.
Yep. And hopefully I don't crash it out again.
Oh, fingers crossed. Anyway, you can leave if you want to, leave the party if you want to, now that the interview's done. Again, very unfortunate. But next week's going to be better.
Okay, thank you for the interview.
Not a problem.
Might as well see if Elliot wants to join. Just try and keep the stream a little bit entertaining, obviously. Charles jumped onto the full wets. We don't know if that's got the best decision, but
Doesn't look like it's the best decision for Cal, because I don't. Again, it's one of them mindsets that you think it's raining heavily, but it's not.
depends this track. It's just how greasy this track can get as Ned close in.
After 5 laps. Hey Elliot, we're currently doing interviews.
Ned close going into the full wets as well.
So just make sure to tick the box on the top part of the party, Elliot, and then we'll interview you. So, I think at by the looks of it, qualified, it wasn't technically your best performance, because you was hoping to try and set a time as like for the other participants. But I think you was struggling a little bit here around Singapore.
Yes, it's not my strongest track. It is difficult, especially when you've got that right kink into the sharp left.
Yeah.
And that's where it caught me pretty much nearly every lap.
Yeah, I think we saw it in some other perspectives that the right kick to sharp left hairpin on the Emerson Bridge. It's a very instant chain of corners.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously, because obviously the Singapore sling was removed a couple of years ago. It was a decade now, I think.
Yeah, it was. And with it being, I mean, like I say, it is a difficult corner, but it's just a case I've got to get my head around it, and
yeah, it's just trying to
hopefully,
learn
you
your
know,
your way through it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a case of, you know, take what I've learned from this race and take it to the next race, and hopefully I can, you know, sort of build my skills and, you know, learn from it.
Yeah. For next week, it's going to be, obviously we're going to Sochi for the Russian Grand Prix. It's not as daunting as Singapore, but the stringency for the corner cutting is very vast. So,
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's. I have raced at Sochi before, and it feels like one of my stronger tracks. So I think I've got a bit of a chance there. I do like the long sweeping corners as well. I seem to get that's where my strongest parts are of the track. But you know, I think I can get a good result there if I just get my head down and focus on the race.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions, Smithy?
Just one. Who are the Mighty Brewers?
Oh, funny. More like the Mighty Reds. Well, not very mighty because we lost today, but
Yeah, well, I was just
Again.
taking the piss because we beat you in the cup when now we're in the semis. So.
well, who don't beat us in the cup? Everyone does. So.
Yeah, anyway, I say, buddy, you can't leave the party and the game now if you want. You don't need to be in here if you want to go and play on another game. More than welcome to that.
Well, I'm quite
Yeah,
happy.
cheers for trying to make the stream a little bit more interesting. Obviously, with 3 guys going and there's 30 seconds separating every car now, it's just a bit boring to watch. So we're trying to get a few people in just to talk to him
Yeah, well,
and sort stuff out.
good
So.
idea, really. You know, well, I think it's a good idea that you brought this in because you know it does add an element of well, I would say excitement, but you know, it's like, you know, something else that's enjoyable part of it. You know what I
We
mean?
could possibly get some insight from the GP2 drivers for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are more than happy to join. I mean, a few of them are in a little practice session with each other now.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll join.
Yeah.
Power's on
Susie.
Well, I
the.
mean, well, I'll probably join. I will probably join and spectate another time if that's alright, because you know I'm a bit busy tonight. I've got to do dinner and that. But yeah, it's.
Well, the stream is always
I'm still
always
enjoying.
available on Twitch, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll definitely have a look. But yeah, even though I've not finished the race, it's I'm still enjoying
It's just
it.
a
You
learning
know, it's
curve
just,
for now.
yeah, that's it. I'm still enjoying
it's,
it though. You
it's,
know what I mean?
it's something that we've had this argument. I've been in the predicament myself. You get races where you get massively frustrated. I mean, I was taken out last week. I've been taken out before. You get to the point where you just think, I can't be bothered to race anymore. But then it hits Saturday night or whatever day your race is, you just think, it's my race day. I'm racing, I'm having a bit of fun. It just gets into the routine of doing it constantly and quite enjoy it, especially when you're fighting for positions all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I won't be able to do every race, but you know, I'll definitely go to everyone, come to everyone that I can. You know what I mean? Because you know, I do want to learn, and you know, I want to get better at the game. So, what better way to do that
That's what it's all
than race
about.
real people? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm enjoying
What's
it.
happened to Ned?
No
Safety
idea.
car.
Oh! Hey?
The track too wet.
Looks like it.
It's dark. The light's gone
Good
out.
God, it's chucking it. Oh my God, yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Hello. We've got Paraquicks.
I don't know what's happened there, but the track
Backlog's
Good evening.
haunted.
looks pitch black. It really does. It looks pitch black. There's no lights.
Yeah. Anyway, hello there, Para.
Yo.
I've never seen this before. Have the lights actually gone out? Or is it just the game?
It does.
Ooh. It does look black, yes.
I don't know.
Oh shit.
Mate, you can't see a thing. I looked up and just seen just a shadow of a car. I couldn't see the car.
Lightning?
I don't know what it is, mate, but there's a safety car out. And no one's crashed. This is going to make it interesting for the last couple of laps, though. If
ain't
the
that the
safety
truth?
car doesn't come back in.
DC's on another set of inches. Well, some of the lights are working.
What?
I think we've had a power cut. Well, ain't that weird? So where is the safety car?
Cal and DC have overtaken it.
Oh, there it
It's
is.
caught up to the back of it now.
Yeah.
You can only just see it in the distance.
I think we have a power cut.
Have some it, mate. Because some of the lights are on, but some aren't.
Yeah. It's the most haunted version of the Singapore Grand Prix.
This is crazy.
Well,
I've
this
never
makes
seen it
the
live
race more
before.
interesting, I guess.
More interesting when you can't see the corner in front of you. You're guessing where the track is. I think Ned'll be very hard done by if he loses the win from here.
I'm not sure if it's on their screen as well. So maybe it's just the
It might just be on
spectator.
mine.
It's on mine. Mine's all black.
You're a spectator then, mate.
Is that stream on Twitch?
Yes,
Yes.
on Twitch now, mate. It should be live.
What's it called?
Global Racing League F1.
Oh then, this is something new. I've just got a message
Something new.
from Horn.
Oh,
What's
what's a
it
bit
called?
dark?
He's put, here's 50p for the meter. I think we need.
It's awful.
I think we need more than 50p on. Good grief! I think we might
I mean,
need
I
like
was
10
hoping
grand.
to kind of get this race over and done with, so I could have a little bit of practice around Singapore before the GP2 race, and I don't think that's going to be the case anymore.
Well, it definitely looks a bit dark around there, doesn't it?
It's kind of like most parts of the UK.
DC's still got a full minute to catch fucking Ned.
Well, there goes the electrical budget then.
See, at the minute, I'm thinking I'm glad I crashed out.
I bet you're thinking, oh thank God, I don't have to race blind.
Yeah, exactly. I already went through 6 front wings. That is really unusual. I've never seen that before.
You can only see the spray and then they get close. Oh, safety car's in this lap.
We're gonna start putting main
And Ned's
beam
still
on
got a
Formula 1 cars
50
now, aren't
second
we?
lead. But that's good on Ned, but I don't know what brought the safety car out. Well, I know what the stream's going to be called now. Complete darkness, complete blackout. The Blitz.
I can't believe this. The funniest shit I've seen. Oh wow. It's like you can't even see in the distance, you can't see anything.
I can just imagine the Singapore's racer directors thinking, right, we've got a race this weekend. What should we do? Shall we or just focus on the track layout, or not focus on the lights at all?
I mean, DC and Calla are next to each other on the track as well. So DC's on inters, Calla's on full wets. The rain seems to have calmed down a little bit, so we'll see what's going to be happening.
It's good.
I would say one thing that I think that they're also doing like 2 minute plus laps. This is the only track, because it's on a 50% race distance, it's the only track that can break the 1 hour mark. So I'm told. It's the only track that can break the 1 hour mark at a 50% race distance if it's a full wet race.
Looks like the wet's the best possible tyre at the minute because Carl is catching DC up. What's your strategy tonight, Horn? Don't hit the pit wall.
No, I don't think that's Horn's strategy. I think Horn's strategy is hoping that the lights won't switch off.
Yeah.
So you're hoping for it to be dry. I can just picture that you're going to jinx yourself and it's going to chuck it down with rain. And it was chucking it down with rain.
I'm sure they'll stick a quid on the meter ready for the next race.
I think... No. I think we'll only stick like a penny in it. So that means the lights will only be on for like about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Volvo is now right on the back of DC. Gonna have a little bit of a battle for the last couple of laps.
Yeah. Well, I know one person to get driver of the day, and that's Ned, done and dusted.
Thoroughly deserves it. I mean, he's led from, what, lap 2? Near enough.
Yep. It's either that, or Tech Masters is answering our prayers, thinking, oh, they're very, very wide apart. Maybe if we just switch the lights off and get a safety car called in.
That Ned is like a machine or something. It's like he's just unstoppable. Or especially in this
It's like
race,
Mark
anyway.
Zuckerberg being a lizard. Wait, what? Well, he is.
Yeah.
But not only that, he's also challenging himself. Well, hello. Side by side, on the grandstand section. And it worked. DC's struggling to get on the power. On DC. Oh, it looks like the lights are working. Yep, the lights are working. Hooray, we did it. We didn't actually need someone to go on a treadmill. Treadmill. Shh, they don't know that yet. They don't know that yet, Horn. Yeah, DC's struggling now on in-season.
That safety car's definitely helped Calvano.
Yep. 2 laps to go. Oh god.
Oh, it's too close to the end there. He's definitely going to get third.
Amen to that.
But now Cal's pulled away. I think we should just watch the driver of the day for the last couple of laps. Ned Claw
why
absolutely
not?
romped
Yeah,
away
why not?
through his second winning GRL.
Mind you, at least he's the only one that lined up the entire racetrack.
He's the only one that caught the safety car.
And yes, Horn, that was supposed to be a joke slash pun, but it didn't work. I think I just need to switch off now.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get some practice in for next week.
Well, look at the bright side, at least Russian won't be at night time. Amen to that.
Well, yeah, that's it. You ain't got to worry about the lights coming out.
You need to worry about the track getting all dark again.
Fucking night vision through through your helmet.
No, I don't think night vision will work. All you need is just have 2 carrots and stick them both in your eyes. I think it looks like that the rain is actually getting less and less worse. In a bit will then turn into a minute, then he realised, no, I'm not going to do it anymore.
That ain't gonna happen.
I use a different setup.
Cal and DC are still battling, bloody hell.
By surviving Horn, that does mean avoid the pit wall this time.
Exactly.
Why do you like?
DC's just got back past Calvano.
And full wets has now
Where's-
lost their touch.
I've just, for the first time in a very long time, I've just seen all 3 cars on the same part of the track. Ned Claw was literally just on the opposite side of the track, just seeing him as he went round the corner.
In that first.
Whoa, look at the slide there from Calvano.
The Euro
We're lucky to
the
keep
Euro
this
beats
at the wall.
now kicking in for Cal. It's having a bit of deja vu.
I think Cal wants to be lapped at this point, just has to do 1 less lap. His tyres are gone. I think Ned's struggling as well, look. DC's caught up. The track was definitely...
Drying up.
Well, that's the word I was looking for.
All we need now is just one person to have 10 hair dryers and just blow all the water away. Mind you, that won't work, because it only works on specific areas of the track. So instead, get all the marshals, get like 10 hair dryers, give them 10 hair dryers, stick them with duct tape, and just use them to get all the water out. Or it's either that, or just give them a hose full of water, and just put some more water on the track.
And then it'll turn into F1 powerboat.
No, it won't. It'll turn into F1 ice skating.
Oh yeah, the perfect one.
Get about
Something to
Strictly
do
Come
Spice
Dancing
Tyres, don't it?
on Strictly on Ice, F1 on Ice. Mind you, we did have F1 on Ice on the winter season testing.
Formula Ice.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Formula Ice World Championship.
Who's going to slide the least today?
No, who's going to be spinning out the most? Whoever gets the most pirouettes
There's
wins.
Ned with a nice pirouette.
Here we see Ned at the grandstand section, taking it very gingerly. Oh, he has the back end stepped out a little bit, but he keeps hold of it. And I don't know why I'm using this voice, because it sounds very anticlimactic. Meanwhile, Cal is understeering like a boat with no rudder. Just the sails, just sailing away. Well, that means one thing's for sure, Ned's got his second win. Under his belt, with DC securing the 1-2 for McLaren. Pretty sure because of it raining, I'm pretty sure the fireworks aren't supposed to project because of it being raining.
No, they're still jet.
It was a pity I didn't finish that race, but I'd have liked to, but you know. Never mind.
I think by the time you're watching this and see the lights go black, I don't think you'll bother.
I'll just like go to the pits like I don't want to race.
Would you like to take a screenshot for me?
I did it right. Yes. I like words. Oh,
You want to interview
Oh,
him for the film?
penalties. Alright then.
Kinda need to get ready for my race, so.
Cal, come here. DC, come here. Go. To the box, guys, and then I'll start off the interview with you on you, Ned.
Congratulations, Ned. I'll say it now before I go.
Yeah, congratulations, Ned, on getting your second win at Season 3. You must be extremely delighted, especially on the mixed conditions and also the odd blackout.
Yeah, blackout. Yeah.
In other words, the light switched off.
Oh yeah. Well,
You must be happy.
yeah, I'm happy, mate. Yeah, it was a good start for me. So yeah, I was happy with it. I was happy with the soft tyre. Even in qualifying, I was happy with what I was doing. Want to give a massive shout out to Whiffy Winners for helping me with my setup today. He's been helping me for about 4 hours today to get set up ready. It's the setup I used tonight. Helped in all weathers, apart from the last lap and a half because I had a puncture.
Oh.
But I thought, I'm just staying out. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
I was committed.
Yeah, he was, he was committed onto that tyre. All up to the end.
And yeah, it was a shame people crashed out because I was looking forward to actually having a good race. Just happened to be
quite a quiet race all round until the last couple of laps when DC and Calvano were having it large. I wish I was involved, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, nonetheless, congratulations on you getting your second win at the Marina Bay Circuit, and also for a bonus as well, you got Driver of the Day from starting in P5, and also taking the win for McLaren Renault. So congratulations on that
Did you
as
say
well.
second win? When else have I won? I don't remember winning. Okay. If it's my second, I'll take it.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations on you winning at Singapore. We'll go on to DC for second place. Despite the jump start, he had a bit of quite an eventful race, and then the last couple of laps, you had a bit of a minor battle with Cal. So tell us your mindset. I'll try and be very, very quick because GP2 is about 4 minutes away. Well, if DC's not there, well, anyway, we will like to congratulate DC taking second place and also securing the 1-2 finish for McLaren Renault. That does mean that the gap for the championship, the Drivers' Championship, is opening up a little bit more because Nash is obviously not there, wasn't here tonight. So we'll go on to third place, which is Cal.
Hello.
You had a very good, strong, short qualifying result from starting on pole. And like with DC, you jump start, I think, by a nanosecond.
Yeah. Wasn't too happy about that, but kind of affected the whole race really. Sort of put me at the back from the start. But yeah. Had a good battle with DC near the end. We were a little bit of a lunge. And yeah. Congratulations, McLaren.
Yeah, huge congratulations to McLaren, and also a good congratulations to you, Cal, on getting the third place at the Singapore circuit, despite we're having an electrical short circuit with some of the lights at the commentary box. Well, not the commentary box, the commentary party. But anyway, nonetheless, congratulations to you, Cal, for getting P3 at Singapore. I think hopefully, if you're going to be there,